Now let's see how the derivation of second law of motions equation is, right? Let's consider a object having mass m which is moving in a straight line with initial velocity u and uniformly accelerated to velocity v in time t by the application of a constant force F throughout the time. The initial and final momentum of the object will be P1 is equal to mu and P2 equal to mv respectively, right? Let's write it down and I will show how to derive the second equation. Okay, the object has a mass m, that is in kg, okay, and initial velocity is u and final velocity is v, time is t, okay. Now it is moving in a straight line, okay. So what will be the momentum? The formula of momentum equal to, you can write the symbol of momentum as P1, initial momentum, this is, right? So it is mass into initial velocity, that is u, and P2, this is final momentum equal to m into v, right? So now what will be the change in momentum? Change in momentum will be equal to this P2 minus P1, final momentum minus initial momentum, right? Final momentum minus initial momentum. Now what was P2? It was m into v, and what was the initial momentum? M into u. Now take m common, right? So it will become m into bracket v minus u. Now the rate of change of momentum, okay, rate of change of momentum will be equal to m into v minus u divided by time. It is with respect to time, so we are dividing time. Now the applied force was F, so F will be equal to the rate of change of momentum. So F is proportional to mass into the difference of velocities divided by the time. So now you can write this as F equal to one constant k into m, and rest all will remain the same, v minus u divided by t. Now k into m, v minus u by t is, now v minus u divided by t we have solved in the earlier chapter. It is a, acceleration, right? So instead of v minus u divided by t you can write a, right? where we'll mention it so that it is easy for you to read it. So not which, where v minus u divided by t is acceleration, right? Now let's see the SI units, right? SI unit of mass is kg and acceleration is meters per second square, right? Now here the unit of force is such a way chosen that the force becomes 1. How? We will see. 1 unit force equal to the unit of that is kg. So 1 kg of mass into k, the constant we forgot to write, and the acceleration is 1 meters per second square, right? So now if you solve this, the value of k becomes 1, right? Now therefore you can rewrite the formula as F equal to m into a, that is mass into acceleration, and the unit is kg m per second square, or you can write this as Newton. Kg meter per second square can also be written as Newton, and it has the symbol N. Okay. The second law of motion gives us the method to measure the force acting on an object as the product of its mass and acceleration. So the formula is mass into acceleration. I gave an example in the earlier video, if you remember. People are playing cricket and a ball is coming with great velocity and the fielder catches it, right? How he catches it? He spreads his hand out and holds the ball and brings his hand back towards himself. So by doing this, what does he do? He will reduce the ball's acceleration, right? So that the velocity of the ball is reduced. It will decrease, right? Gradually. It will not decrease suddenly. It will not become zero. It will gradually decrease. So the fielder will never get hurt of the ball. And if you stand in the way of the ball and if the ball hits you, you will get hurt. But by reducing the velocity of the ball will not hurt you, right? Same way, you can take an example of an athlete who is doing a high jump. They are made to fall on a cushion, right? After jumping from the high. So by doing this, what happens? The acceleration is reduced, right? And it decreases slowly, it doesn't decrease in a short interval of time. मतलब suddenly ऐसा decrease नहीं होता, right? Gradual होता है, तो इसके लिए उसका impact होने से किसी को लगता नहीं है, right? The first law of motion can be mathematically stated from the mathematical expression for the second law of motion. Second law of motion is F equal to m into a, or F equal to m into x, in place of acceleration we can write v minus u by t, or now you can cross multiply, t will go up, so it will become f into t equal to, open the bracket, m into v minus m into u, right? Now if f is 0, v will be equal to u, right, for whatever time t taken. This means that the object will continue moving with uniform velocity throughout the time t. Now if u is 0, then v also will be 0, okay? This initial will be 0, then the final will also be 0. That means that the object is stationary, it is not moving, right? To understand this better, let's solve this exercise, example 9.1. A constant force acts on an object of mass 5 kg for a duration of 2 seconds. ठीक है, कोई भी एक चीज़ है उसके ऊपर 2 सेकेंड तक कंटिन्यूस फोर्स है और जो ऑब्जेक्ट है उसका वजन है 5 kg. It increases the object's velocity from 3 meters per second to 7 meters per second, right? जो वेलोसिटी है उसका बढ़ जाता है क्योंकि फोर्स कंटिन्यूस लग रहा है उसको. फाइंड द मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ द अप्लाइड फोर्स. नाउ इफ द फोर्स was applied for a duration of 5 seconds, what would be the final velocity of the object? What we have to find? We have to find over here the applied force, right? How much it was, right? The unit of applied force will be Newton, right? We have seen in the second law of equation. Now whatever information is given, first write it down. What is the initial velocity? It is 3 meters per second. What is the final velocity? It is 7 meters per second, right? And what is the duration of time? It is 2 seconds. Okay. What is the mass? Mass of that object is 5 kg. You have to write the units also, right? Now we know the formula, F equal to m v minus u by t. You have to remember this formula. Now you have to put values, okay? M is 5 kg, v is 7, u is 3, time t is 2 seconds, right? Now if you solve this, 5 4s are 20, okay, this will be 20 by 2. So if you cut, the magnitude of force will be 10 Newton, right? You have to write the unit. Now this force is applied continuously, right? For how much time period? For 5 seconds. This is the second part of the question. So here whatever is given, write it down. Now we have find out the value of F. F is 10 Newton. The time t is 5 seconds, right? And rest all remain the same. So now we will rearrange this formula, and what we have to calculate? The final velocity. Therefore, now on rearranging this formula, why we have to rearrange? We want to find the final velocity. So this will be F equal to mv minus mu divided by t. Now we want to find v, velocity final. So what we will do? We will rearrange F into t plus mu divided by m will give the value. It will give the value of v. Now ft by m plus u. this mm will get cancelled. So now F we got as 10 newtons and time t is 5, the mass of the object is 5 and u initial velocity is 3. So this cut, so this will be 13 meters per second. The final velocity will be 13 meters per second. Right? Now let's solve one more example, 9.2, which would require a greater force accelerating a 2 kg mass at 5 meters per second square or a 4 kg mass at 2 meters per second square. What do you have to find out? The greater force. Right? There are two objects. One's mass is 2 kg, other's mass is 4 kg. Right? And acceleration is also different. So, how will we solve this? We know the formula of force equal to mass into acceleration. Right? Here, mass 1 is how much? 2 kg. And mass 2 is how much? 4 kg. Right? Acceleration 1 is how much? 5 meters per second square. Acceleration 2 is 2 meters per second square. Right? Now we will calculate for the first part. F1 equal to m1 into a1. What is m1? 2 kg. What is a1? 5. So 5 to the 10 Newton force is for the first part. Now for the second part, F2 equal to mass 2 into acceleration 2. Mass 2 is 4, acceleration 2 is 2. So 4 to the 8. 8 Newton is the second force, F2. So which is greater, 10 or 8? So F1 is greater than F2. Right? That means the acceleration of this 2 kg mass at 5 meters per second square will require more force. Right? So we'll conclude this by writing accelerating a 2 kg mass at 5 meters per second square would require a greater force. Okay? Now let's try to solve example 9.3. A motor car is moving with a velocity of 108 kilometers per hour and it takes 4 seconds to stop after the brakes are applied. Calculate the force exerted by the brakes on the motor car if its mass along with the passengers is 1000 kg. Right? What do you have to find out here? The force which will be exerted on the brakes. Right? Whatever information is given, first we will write it down. Okay? (9.3) What is the initial velocity? Initial velocity is 108 kilometers per hour. Now we have to convert this into meters per second. So 108, 1 kilometer is 1000 meters and it will be divided by 1 hour is how much? 60 into 60 seconds. So 108, 1, 2, 3 zeros, 6 are 36, 3600. If you divide this, it will come around 30 meters per second. That means the initial velocity was 30 meters per second, and since brakes are being applied, the final velocity will be equal to 0 meters per second, because the vehicle is stopping, that motor car is stopping. And what is the mass? Mass is 1000 kg, including the weight of the passengers, right? And how much time it takes to stop? It takes 4 seconds, right? Now we will put this in the equation F equal to m into v minus u divided by t. You have to remember this formula. What was the mass? 1000 into v, the final velocity is 0. Why? Because the car is stopping, so it is 0. And u, initial velocity is 30. And how much time it takes to stop? 4 seconds. So now if we solve this, we will get the force required as minus 7500 Newton, right? What does this negative sign indicate? It indicates that the force exerted by the brakes is opposite to the direction of motion of the motor car. Understood? Now let's solve example 9.4. A force of 5 Newton gives a mass m1, an acceleration of 10 meters per second square, and a mass m2, an acceleration of 20 meters per second square. Now we have to find out what acceleration would it give if both the masses were tied together. Means we have to add both the masses and find what would be the final acceleration, right? So now we will use the equation F equal to ma, right? Here what is m1? m1 is f2 by a2. So the force here is same, acting on both the masses. So F will be same for both. And for this equation m2, F divided by a2. Now the acceleration for case 1 is 10 meters per second square, right? So now what will be the m2 mass? That will be force F, that is 5 Newton. What is the acceleration? 1. It is 10 meters per second square. So what will be the mass 1? It will be 10 divided by 5. It is 0.5 kg. And in this case the F is same. Acceleration 2 is how much? It is 20. So this will be 0.25 kg. Now what is the question given? That we have to find acceleration if both these masses were tied together. Means you have to add this and find acceleration. So m1 plus m2 will be 0.5 plus 0.25. So this much kg is the total mass, 0.75 kg. Now we have to put this in equation A equal to F by m. Force is the same, 5 Newton, and the mass is 0.75. So now when we divide, this will get 6.67 meters per second square. This is the acceleration, right? The acceleration produced by this force, 5 Newton force on this mass, 0.75 kg, will be 6.67 meters per second square, right? Now let's solve example 9.5. The velocity time graph of a ball of mass 20 grams moving along a straight line on a long table is given in figure 9.9. This is the figure, right? Velocity time graph. Time is in x axis, velocity is in y axis, right? And they are asked how much force does the table exert on the ball to bring it to rest. That means the frictional force of the table which will bring the ball to rest. What information is given? First we will write it down. Okay. The initial velocity u is 20. It is given in, it is 20 centimeters per second. From the graph you can find it out. Okay, velocity, and how much time it takes? It takes 10 seconds. This is also given in the graph. Time is 10 seconds, right? So v will be 0 centimeters per second. Why? Because it is stopping, the ball is stopping. So what will be the formula of acceleration? Final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. V is 0, u is 20 centimeters per second, and the time t is 10 seconds. So it will be minus 2 centimeters per second square, right? Or you can write this as 0 minus 0.02 meters per second square. You have to write these units. Okay, whatever units are given, you have to convert it. Now you have to find the force. So what is the formula? Force equal to mass into acceleration. The mass given is 20 grams. So we have to convert that to kg. So divide by 1000. This will be kg, and acceleration is this much, minus 0.02, right? Now when we solve this, we will get minus 0.0004 Newton. Why minus? Because the negative sign indicates that the force of friction is acting on the ball, right? Right here, the negative sign implies that the frictional force exerted by the table is opposite to the direction of motion of the ball, right?